It's time to take 5 for safety. It's time for another episode of Let's Not Die Today on the Toolbox Talk Show Network.
Hello, everyone. Do me a big favor and hit that like or subscribe button wherever you get your podcast. And, oh, yeah, don't forget about those great folks over at 7Taps. They make micro-learning easy. Go to 7taps.com, download the free community version. If you love it, get the pro version. Or now, they have an enterprise version. Either way, before you buy, go to toolboxtalkshow.com/training and pick up all the bonuses we have for you. Our topic today, restaurant safety. To stay safe while working in a modern restaurant, you should be aware of some of the most common hazards: sharp knives, hot surfaces, and heavy objects. In today's episode, we will cover all of these hazards and more. Let's start with definitions. A restaurant is a business that prepares and serves food for the public. Meals are generally served and eaten on premises, but some restaurants offer takeout and delivery. Let's talk history. Public eating establishments have been around for thousands of years. In ancient Greece and Rome, citizens that lacked kitchens in their homes frequently ate at public places that served food and drinks. The Romans had wine bars called popina, which offered a variety of wines as well as some simple foods, including olives, breads, cheese, and porridge. Popina were inexpensive places where the lower classes could socialize. Around 1100 AD, restaurants started appearing in some of China's major cities. Some of these cities had populations of more than 1 million people. You could find a variety of restaurants that would rival some of our modern metropolitan areas today. These restaurants were located in districts where business people and travelers could find entertainment, complete with hotels, bars, and even brothels. A restaurant culture emerged in Japan in the 16th century, beginning with local tea houses. These establishments quickly expanded to offer multi-course meals and specialty dishes. In Europe, inns, which offered food and lodgings, were common from the Middle Ages through the Renaissance. These establishments served various dishes such as sausage, shepherd's pie, puddings, and fish. France has a rich history of culinary development. As far back as the 13th century, French inns served an array of food: bread, cheese, bacon, roast, soups, and stews, usually eaten at a communal table. Fast forward to the late 18th century, and the French tradition would evolve into restaurants much like the ones we know today. Let's talk statistics. In 2019, restaurants had 93,800 non-fatal injuries. Over 8,000 of those injuries were cuts and lacerations. In total, 1/3 of all injuries resulted in lost time. Let's talk safety. Safety tip number 1, avoiding lacerations. To prevent knife injuries, always use a cutting board and cut away from your body. Always store knives in a designated place. Never leave sharp knives soaking in a sink full of water. Never pick up broken glass. Sweep up glass using a broom and dustpan, then pick up the slivers with a wet paper towel. Make sure to treat all cuts immediately to avoid infection. Safety tip number 2, slips, trips, and fall hazards. Use anti-slip mats in the kitchen and other areas where water may be present. Utilize wet floor signs when and where needed. Check for water accumulation in coolers and freezers. Keep walkways clear and wear non-skid, slip-resistant shoes. Safety tip number 3, cleanliness. Keep the kitchen clean and organized. Regularly clean up spills, wipe down surfaces, and keep areas organized to prevent accidents and make the kitchen a safer place to work. Safety tip number 4, machines and guarding. Use extra caution when using slicers. Ensure guards are properly installed and never, ever remove guards. Defective or malfunctioning equipment must be tagged out of service. Safety tip number 5, burns. When using hot surfaces such as the stovetop or oven, use oven mitts or pot holders to protect your hands from burns. Always wear gloves or mittens when handling hot objects. Be careful opening steamers. Always allow cooking equipment to cool before cleaning. And always communicate the transfer of hot objects. Safety tip number 6, ergonomics, safe lifting. Avoid stooping, bending, and twisting while carrying a load. When lifting heavy objects, be sure to use proper lifting techniques to avoid straining your back. If you twist while lifting, it will increase the risk of injury. Always bend your knees and lift with your legs. If a load is too heavy, separate it into smaller loads or ask for assistance. Safety tip number 7, emergencies. Know the locations of exits. Ensure exit doors are not blocked. Know the location of the nearest fire extinguisher and report all workplace injuries immediately. Safety tip number 8, fire safety. Finally, it's essential to have a K-type fire extinguisher in the kitchen. That's the large silver one. If a grease fire starts, do not try to put it out with water or an ABC fire extinguisher. Those are the little red ones. Instead, use the K-type fire extinguisher or pull the emergency manual pull station on the fixed extinguishing system. In any case, anyone who attempts to extinguish a fire must receive proper training. Following these tips can save you from accidents, injuries, and even death. Thanks for listening to another episode of Let's Not Die Today. If you'd like free PDF versions of all our talks, please scroll down about halfway on the homepage and sign up for our mailing list. As always, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. If you love what we do, please tell your employer about us. Oh, yeah, and please subscribe. We'll love you for it. See you next time.